Hello everybody, I'm back from A9 K44C International Economic and Business Foreign Trade University. Do you feel that the temperature in Hanoi now is hotter than 5 years or 10 years ago? I remember the Tet holidays this year were very hot. No northeastern monsoon, I only wear t-shirt and short. And the question here is, why the temperature is hotter and hotter? The answer is global warming. And now I'm going to talk to you about global warming. Let's start by what is global warming. Global warming is the increase of average world temperatures as the result of what is known as greenhouse effect. Certain gases in the atmosphere act like glass in the greenhouse, allowing sunlight through to heat the Earth's surface but trap the heat back into space. As the greenhouse gas build up in the atmosphere, the Earth gets hotter. So turning to what is causing global warming, scientists have concluded that human activities are contributing to global warming by adding large amounts of heat-trapping gas into the air. Every time we drive a car, use electricity from coal-fired power plants, or heat our home with oil or natural gas, we release carbon dioxide and other heat-trapping gas into the air. So more heat is trapped and less escape back into space. Our planet is hotter. And if you don't believe that global warming is really happening, I will show you some evidence. Worldwide, the rain is more intense, the floods and storms are more severe, and the heat waves is becoming more extreme. Rivers freeze later in the winter and melt earlier in the summer. Trees flower early in spring and birds lay sooner. Glaciers are melting, the global mean sea level is rising. The temperature of the Earth's surface has risen by 0.6 since the late 1800s, and it likely rise by another 1.4 to 5.8 during the course of this century. Now we move on to the fact, the impacts of global warming with the people's life and the world economy. Starting with the people's life, global warming threatens the basic element supply for people all around the world access to water, food, health, land and the environment. Firstly, about the water cycle intensifies, billions of people will lose or gain water. Some risk becoming newly or further water stretched. According to one study, temperature rise of 2 Celsius will result in 1 to 4 billion people growing water shortage, predominantly in Africa, Middle East, Southern Europe, and the parts of South and Central America. At the same time, 1 to 5 billion people, mostly in South and East Asia, will receive more water. However, much of extra water, when come during the wet season, could also give more severe flooding. Next, about the food. In tropical region, even small amount of warming will lead to decline in yield. Higher temperature will lead to substantial decline in cereal production around the world. It's likely to leave hundreds of million people without ability to produce or purchase food, particularly in the poorest part of the world. Around 800 million people are currently at risk of hunger and malnutrition, cause around 4 million deaths annually, almost half in Africa. Moving on to the health, global warming will increase worldwide deaths from malnutrition and heat stress. In cities, heat waves become more dangerous, and regional warming, together with urban heat effect, led to extreme temperatures and air pollution. For example, heat wave 2003 in Europe, 35,000 people died. Moreover, diseases such as malaria and dengue fever would become more widespread. It estimated that already responsible for over 150,000 deaths each year since 1970s, predominantly in Africa and developing countries, according to WHO. And then, about the land, global warming makes sea level rise and its increased flooding, led to loss of wetlands and coastal erosion, and increased saltwater intrusion into surface and groundwater. Some estimated 1.5 to 2 million people may become displaced permanently by the middle of a century due to rising sea level, more frequent floods, intense drought, infrastructure damage, and changes in soil conditions. Finally, about the environment, global warming makes environment problems have been serious, now more and more serious. With the pollution of the air, the water, the land, and the sea, the extinction of many species, the damage of ecological balance and biodiversity on the planet. It's the impact with the people's life. Now let me turn to the impact with the world economy, the cause of global warming. The cause of extreme weather events such as floods, storms, droughts, heat waves are already high and rising, with annual losses of around $60 billion since 1990s. It's about 0.2% of the world GDP. And if this trend continues with rising global temperatures, it could reach 0.5 to 1% by the middle, and several percent, maybe 20% of the world's GDP per year over the second half of the century. Besides, the cost of infrastructure damage is very terrible. For example, Swiss recently estimated in Europe the cost of infrastructure damage could double by 2018. It's about $50 billion compared with $20 billion today. Moreover, abrupt changes in climate and rising cost of extreme events could affect global financial market value, especially the insurance and the stock market, and led to a lot of costs such as insurance cost, healthcare cost, transportation cost, repair cost, inflation cost, and many costs. So, in conclusion, we can see that global warming makes our life more difficult, more intense, and it's really not good for the world economy, for the world development. We must stop it. We must stop global warming. How can we do that? Stop global warming, it means we reduce CO2 and other heat-trapping gas we release every day. So I tell you about 10 simple things we can do and how much CO2 we can save doing them. First, change the light. Replacing one regular light with a compact light will save 150 pounds of CO2 a year. 2. Drive less, walk, bike, carpool, or take mass chances more often. You will save 1 pound of CO2 for every mile you don't drive. 3. Recycle more. You can save 2,400 pounds of CO2 per year by recycling just half of your household waste. 4. Use less hot water. Use less hot water by installing a low-flow shower head and washing your clothes in cold or warm water. You can save 300 to 500 pounds of CO2 a year. 5. Avoid products with a lot of packaging. You can save 1,200 pounds of CO2 if you cut down your garbage by 10%. 6. Adjust your thermostat. Down 2 degrees in winter and up 2 degrees in summer, you can save about 2,000 pounds of CO2 a year. 7. Check your time. Every gallon of gasoline saved keeps 20 pounds of CO2. 8. Turn off electronic device. Simply turning off your TV, DVD player, stereo, and computer when you're not using them will save thousands of pounds of CO2 a year. 9. Plant trees. A single tree will absorb 1 ton of CO2 over its lifetime. Finally, 10. Use an alternative energy source, switch to solar or wind power, and raise your voice to put pressure on government and your business in your country to fight global warming. Look what we've done to the world. Action now or everything is too late. Let's hope about a green planet, a beautiful life for you, for me, and for future generation. The presentation of the global warming. I'm back from A9K44C International Economic and Business Foreign Trade University. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.